Now on Blitz is Pam Canup, 11th year head coach for the Commerce Lady Tigers softball team. Pam, 11 years, really hard to believe. You know, you started this varsity program back in '04 or '05. I'm sure it's just gone by pretty quick for you.
Yes, we started with middle school first, and then moved up and did JV and then varsity, and it just kind of all runs together. Been an amazing ride.
Yeah, in the last 3 years particularly, we've seen this program kind of at its height so far, 54-40 over the last 94 games. You made it to the Sweet 16, an Elite 8 run, and a Round 1 appearance last year. What's in store for 2015?
We have a great group of kids that want to be here, want to do, seem to be bonding well, and just want to do whatever it takes. Our goal is to get back to Columbus. Of course, every year your goal is wanting to win it all, but you got to get to Columbus to get there. So, taking each game with the power ranking, take each game one game at a time, and try to do the best so we can get as many points out of every game that we play, so that we can have that opportunity.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the power rankings, and for our viewers and listeners who aren't familiar with that, now that you're split between the private and public 1A schools, and so you've been around since before that was implemented just a couple years ago. What are your feelings on how that power ranking system works for you guys?
There's some good points. I think it gives some teams some better chances to make it. At this point in time, the northern part of the state is, seems to have the better pitching, better that kind of stuff, and it kind of helps that way, helps some better quality teams get there. There are definitely some great teams in the South, but it kind of eliminates having a weaker team in, and that part's kind of nice. The disadvantage is before the power ranking, you could schedule some games and play some younger kids and give them some experience. Whereas now, every game is equally important unless you win your region. Sometimes, maybe your coaching philosophy changed just a little bit because, you really are trying to win every single game to help you with the power ranking.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's some good points you made there. And I know your expectations are high in this program, and this year you've got 3 seniors. What are your expectations for the leaders on this team?
The 3 seniors have been around, are Commerce kids, and have grown up playing for Commerce, and they've really stepped up and done a great job this summer. We have about 29 or 30 girls that have been out this summer with some of the younger kids from middle school coming and doing, and it's really been great. They've done a good job of being a leader, and we've talked a lot about what leaders do and that kind of stuff, and they really are stepping in to fulfill the role. We miss our 2 seniors from last year who were awesome leaders also, but they set a standard of how you are to be a leader. That was Rachel Floyd and Anna Flint on how to be a leader and be a player and that kind of stuff.
And it's interesting you mentioned Anna Flint and Rachel Floyd. That's exactly where I was going next. Two key seniors, as you said, that were a big part of this program, and those are those were your corner infielders at third base and first base. So how do you retool the infield after that and the lineup?
We've been trying a couple of different combinations, and summer's great preseason because you play a whole bunch of games. Or our philosophy is that we play a whole bunch of different games through the summer league, and we actually take a trip to Carrollton to play some kids some teams on that side of the state. And we never look at the score. We're always looking to work on some aspect of a game, whether it's be bunting or stealing or hit and run or whatever. And we don't really care what the score is, or we're working on throwdowns, or we're working on our pickoff move. And so we've got to try a whole bunch of different combinations, and getting closer to some people stepping up and hopefully fulfilling their role and growing into such as great players as them and great leaders as them.
Right, and as you said, you do have the 3 seniors this year that are going to be pivotal, and one of those seniors is Mattie Canup, your daughter. Had an outstanding year last year, and I know the expectations on her are going to be pretty big, but you as a parent, putting aside, your coaching responsibilities, that's got to be a bittersweet feeling for you. I'm sure some emotions there with her entering her senior season.
Yes, and unfortunately, that's just the 3rd time that I have 3 daughters, and all 3 of them. Yes, it is a bittersweet. You really enjoy coaching them and hanging out with them, and then all of a sudden, then they're not there. They're off and going to college, and doing their thing. But the other 2 times, I had another one coming, so I don't have another one coming, and I got some grandbabies.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to right there. Last question for you, and then I'll let you go. But you've talked about, we both have talked about the expectations for Commerce softball, and of course Columbus is always right up there. I think you made that trip a couple of years ago, but what is it going to take, in your opinion, this year to get this group of girls back to Columbus?
We have. We have some good talent. We really got to play within ourselves and not try to do things that are not within ourselves, and that's what we talk about. We got to do the things that we do. Some teams have home run hitters, some teams have a 70-mile-an-hour pitcher, those kind of things. We got to play within ourselves and do what we do. And we talk about. One of our little sayings this year is work done is greater than work said. So, we keep talking about we got to work hard at what we do and master what we do and not try to fulfill what, everybody else, what that team does. If they're a home run hitting team, that might not be what we're doing that day. We got to do what we need to do that day.
Yeah, well, we're very confident that we're going to see your Lady Tigers make a deep run at it this year. And Pam, thank you again so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for all you do to support our program.
Thank you.